Hey everybody, so today we're going to replace the front wheel hubs on my Cadillac CTS. I also bought some new rotors for the car, but they ended up being the wrong ones, so I'll have to take those back. So today we're just going to replace these hubs, and the reason I'm replacing the hubs is I've been getting some whine and some shaking up front, and I also started to experience shaking while braking recently, so I think due to the fact that they've been moving around too much, that's warped the rotors. That's why I bought new ones. But I'll have to replace those rotors another day when I get the right ones in. But for the moment, we're just going to do the hubs, try to get rid of the shaking problem when I'm driving. And I've replaced the struts. Well, yeah, the front outer tie rods. Not the strut, my bad. Strut's coming next. But I replaced the outer tie rods, trying to eliminate that problem too. And after some noise while driving down the road, I came to the realization that it might be my hubs. So I'm replacing them today, and I am upgrading them from the basics to aftermarket part to hopefully help with higher speeds and to make sure that this problem doesn't happen again. So I have the tire off at the moment, and we are going to be replacing this piece right here. Once I take off the rotor and I take off the brake caliper, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. Now, I'm just going to take this off of one piece so I don't have to worry about taking the rotor and the brakes off differently. So I have one little bolt right here in the middle of my rotor, and you can see it spins. So we're going to try to stop it spinning. You can put a screwdriver over here on the side and have it like hit this so that it'll stop it spinning. But hopefully I can just hold it with my hand and that'll be good enough. See? So that one screws out, and then there's two bolts on the back of the caliper that once we remove them, this will just pop off. Now we put some muzzle into it. And I also forgot to get a thread locker today. So when I go and put these calipers back on, the new ones that I'm gonna go get tomorrow, that I'll put all the thread locker I need on the nuts that I'm replacing today. Tomorrow when I replace these calipers. Or my bad, not the calipers, the rotors. But if you're not doing anything, you forget thread locker, I'd strongly suggest getting a different car if you've already taken your parts apart, or if you're not, go right back to the store and get thread locker. But like I said, I'm gonna replace this anyway, this rotor. So tomorrow I'll get the thread locker I need when I'm buying the new rotors, and I'll replace it then. That's bolt 2. Then we'll just take it, and it should just be able to slide off like that. I think the brake line's a little short, but we're gonna manipulate it a little. Hopefully, do not want to, but we might just have to slip it off the ends. Kind of hoping I'll come off as one piece. I see the problem. Looks like I'm hitting on the back. See? So we'll just slide that out a little bit, and then it pops off. And I'm trying to keep it together as one piece. So I'll just slide it back in. And I'm going to set it back here. Try not to pull on the brake line. We'll set it down. We'll clean that off here in a minute. So next, I got a 13 millimeter, I think is what this is. And see, I think it's 13. Oh yeah, there it is, 13. And there's 3 bolts on the back of this piece right here is what we're changing. There's 1, 2, and then 1 on the other side. And triangle form, there's 3 bolts. and we're going to remove them. They're in the back. And then this, if it doesn't just fall off like the other one did, I'll have a sliding hammer, which I'll beat it off with. Seeing on the one caliper bolt I took out, see all that thread locker there? That was what I put on it before, that ring right there, and some came down. But that's what helps lock it in place when you tighten it down, so that the vibration doesn't make it jiggle out. That's one out. That's two, and then we're going to turn the wheels the other direction to get the third bolt. All right, and bolt number 3 is just right here on this back side. So we'll break this one free. It shouldn't be too hard. Come on. There we go. 3's not free. Should just come right on out. Now let's see if this one wiggles free like the other side. And luckily it does, because otherwise I'd be beating that for a long time. And this is a dirt protector, and this just fell off. So when I get done, this is just going to go back on like this. And that's all to it. And then you see all this dirt, so I'm just going to wipe it down. And I have a paper towel I'm going to go grab that I'm going to use to help wipe this out. So I have a paper towel. Just want to take this and try to get some of this dirt out of the middle. Obviously it's just going to come back, but when sliding this new one in, I kind of want to make sure that most of this dirt's not in there sitting in this hole. Alright, so that's done. We'll put this down here at the moment and open up our box. There's what the new one looks like compared, and then this is the old one. See the difference? Everything looks better, and this one's upgraded. This one's a better piece and better made than the old one. So we're going to take the dirt blocker, bang it a couple times, stick it up there, and then just slide this one in place. It don't matter how it goes as long as the holes line up, because in the end, this just hold on, let me get this spool and then I'll show you. There we go. All right, first one's in. We're going in. Thank you. Put the second one. All right, so these triangle pieces are all the same distance, so you can stick this however you want, as long as it just bolts on there. And this just turns, so wherever this turns, it doesn't really matter what bolt hole goes where. basically. And now we're just going to tighten down these 2 bolts a little bit with the ratchet. We'll put in the 3rd bolt before we fully tighten it down. So that one's starting to get snug, so we'll stop there. We'll go to bolt number 2. It's getting snug, we'll stop there. And we'll stick in bolt number 3. Which we'll finger tighten real quick. And I don't have much space on the side, and we're going to tighten down just this 1 bolt on this side for the moment. Take off the extension because there's no space. And if you have a torque wrench, use a torque wrench for this, but I'm just going to go tight, but not too tight, I guess. I'm going to crank it down a good amount since it has a lot of movement to it. But I don't want to overdo it, so that should be about enough. And I'm going to turn the wheels back their way. Alright, now that the wheels are turned back the other way, we're going to put the extension back on. And tighten down this bottom bolt here in the corner real quick. And we're going to crank this one down first, and we'll tighten down the top one. All right, now the top one. And this one we're going to take off the extension again. Dropping everything today. All right, extension off. The hole. Alright, cranked it down, and that's all there is to that. And now we'll put on the rotor. Just grab our paper towel again. When we pick it up, just do the fact that it sat down there and got some dirt on it. So we'll turn it over, wipe it out, wipe off the back. And then we're just going to slide it back on. Alright, there we go. I'm trying not to drop this off. Just gonna turn it. Sits right there in place. Oh crap. One thing I forgot to say, that screw hole has to line up. That mini screw hole on your rotor needs to line up. So, off we come again. Fun, huh? Gotta make sure it's hitting on the back again. Slide our brake caliper out. Lower it down. Oh my gosh. And actually I lined it up too on accident. But I was actually one hole off, my bad. There we go, now it's lined up. And the reason I didn't want this caliper to fall off is I didn't want to have to contract the pistons on it. And I also didn't want to worry about getting it back on the rotor. But it's not that hard if you want to just pull it off and then worry about sticking it back together. Alright, so that one's in. We're going to take this mini bolt real quick just to make it a little bit easier, and we're going to put it in the hole. And we're going to tighten this down to hold the rotor in the right spot. Now, hold this and tighten it down. You don't need to over tighten that, it just holds in place. And then we're going to put on an 18 millimeter for the back of these caliper brake screws. Man, it's getting a little bit worn out. I can't speak now. We're not going to crank them down just yet. We're going to get them both flush first and hand tight, and then we'll crank them down. Right, so hand tight. Now the bottom one. All right, now that's done. We're going to stick it over the underneath the brake line like this, so that we can crank down the bottom one first. And I'm just going to push it down, and then we'll go back underneath, grab the back for a ratchet. Make sure that's really in there. Now for the top one, so go angle this a little bit more, and then just a couple of turns. Thing gets in the way when you just want to do something. Angle this a little bit more. There we go. Now get in a better position. Seems pretty tight. Seems like that will do the job. Now we're going to get a couple spins. Fiddly spin. There it goes. And that brakes it a little bit tight on that rotor. But when we get in the car and start pumping it, it should loosen up some and allow it to move. Now all that's left is just turn the wheels back to center, put this tire back on, and it should be good to drive. All right, so tire center, pick up our tire. We're gonna lift it up and set it right on. Now we're just going to take our lug nuts, tie them back down. Everybody knows how to do this, right? You can see the heat on the inside of these, where they got hot and started changing a little bit of color. All right. Now we're just gonna tighten these down real quick, and then we're gonna spin this tire. Not because we need to, but just to see it rotate. And see how it's tight on that? It'll release in a few minutes when I start driving. All right, that's all on. And just like that, they're spinning again. So now we're just going to lower the jack, take off the jack stands, and that's all for this. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe and have a good day.